We're going to be doing a one-shot for this session, or two, for the session or two. And so, what'd you call it? What'd you call the document?
One-shot campaigns.
I put shot. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be a series of one-shots, and so right now, these are our characters.
Hi. Hello. Hi.
So I will let Mom introduce her characters now, and then I'll introduce the character they know so far.
Okay. So all of my characters grew up in the same village. The three of them hung out together pretty much the whole time they were growing up. Sylvia Weaver is the daughter of the local weavers. She spent a lot of time in her youth out watching the flocks, and during lambing season she would be out there all night and would stare at the stars. And eventually she started spending time with the local elder and basically ended up becoming a druid focused on the stars. So that was her. This is Jonathan. Jonathan lost his parents. His full name is Jonathan Thatcher. He lost his parents to a fire when he was about 5 years old, and he was taken in by Sylvia's family, the Weaver family, and was raised with Sylvia. The foster siblings became friends, and they often. So he was out there tending the flock together with her a lot. Used to talk about their respective plans for the future. He stayed with the Weavers when Sylvia began studying with the Elder, and his focus has always been more on being a protector. While he chose the path of the Totem Warrior, he chooses less warlike totems and is more in tune with nature. His rage is less a berserker sort of thing than a focused and intent protectiveness.
And last but not least...
And finally, we have their friend Eric Carter. Eric Carter lived a few houses away, or a few farms away, depending on your point of view. Always wanted to be a bard, so when they would hang out tending the flock, he would play his lute. But one night in their teens, a zombie appeared in the field and attacked them. Jonathan fought it off with Sylvia and Eric's help. And Eric became determined to protect people from the things that go bump in the night. He still plays music, but he chose the path of the Twilight Cleric rather than becoming a bard.
She's related to that phrase, by the way.
Which one?
Things that go bump in the night.
Only with regard to him, because it's... Sorry, him. No, him? Yes. Him, because it's so appropriate.
So my character, or that they know, is Ardenne. She is she's about the same age as them. Maybe a little older or younger. She came to the village about when they were in their teens, I guess. And she's also a sword. As Jonathan is one of the guys who does like the village security. She also does that, and she enjoys just hanging out with anyone. She very much enjoys just being with people and hanging out with them. And she's most in her element with talking with friends, and everyone is at least a possible friend with her, as befits her happy-go-lucky attitude.
Aww.
Now then, to set up a house, or a few houses at least. It's like you guys right around the edge of town. It's like you can at the edge of town when.
Okay.
So, are you guys gonna come together for this? So we're not starting one day. We're just doing the introduction to the rest of the characters. Do you want us to be together for this, or do you want to be like?
Sure.
So you guys are all
hanging out
near a town when suddenly you notice Ardenne striding quickly towards a pair of figures walking down. She's looking at one in particular, who is very recognizable. He has just a mess of scars covering his face, and Yeah. His face is coated in just scars and injuries. And he looks half asleep. The other one is wearing full plate armor and has a scythe on his back.
Okay.
Like the Grim Reaper style one.
Yeah.
I'm actually because I figured if
Not a sickle. Got it.
I figured if I explained that yes, I would understand the yes I do think like for farming I was like no, he just has like a weaponized scythe.
Okay.
Anyway, so Ardenne quickly moves over and embraces the guy. He's like, Reijix, good to see you again.
Reijix?
Okay. Reijix.
Okay. And is she treating the other guy like chopped liver? Or does she greet him afterward?
She says, who's your friend?
Uh-huh.
And after he stares at her for a few seconds, she says, oh, Exekai.
After which stares at her. Okay.
After he stares at her for a few seconds with his eyes still half closed, looking like he's almost asleep, says, oh, Exekai. Exekai? Are you guys, so what are your plans for being here? You're like, what are you guys gonna do here? Exekai hasn't said a word, but
Out loud.
Well, neither of us had them said a word out loud.
Mm-hmm. I know. Oh, sorry, I was thinking of Reijix. Okay.
Yeah, so Reijix continues looking at her and she says, "Aw, you're not gonna stay over. You're gonna get tavern. You're gonna stay in the tavern. You're not gonna be roommates." To which Exekai politely shakes his head. There's a people in the town nearby, so they're all watching, interested, so I'll just put right there.
Jonathan trusts her judgment, so he's not worried about the safety of the town. So my little group is saying, newcomers. Something interesting for a change.
So,
and then we go back to talking about whatever we were talking about.
Okay, so we have a few days before the actual one-shot happens, for us to just interact with each other.
Okay.
So let's put our characters around. So as these two get settled in, and you never notice Reijix actually saying a word. People tend to say things like, he's got an odd voice, but it's very interesting nonetheless. And a few people are like, he's very insightful. They all seem to realize he doesn't talk.
But we notice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even Ardenne seems to be unaware that he doesn't talk.
Is she off duty during this time period, or is she still coming to work?
She's still coming to work, yeah.
Okay, so Jonathan has an opportunity to talk with her.
You'd also tell if they're off duty, too.
Yeah, but again, it wouldn't be polite to just seek her out and interrupt her reunion just to quiz her about her friend.
Her friend is taking a lot of odd jobs on the town as well, so you noticed, so,
Which, so Reijix.
yeah.
Okay.
So is Exekai as well, but, so Jonathan,
So anyway, next time that they're both on duty, he says, so, you having a nice reunion with your friend?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think, have you met him yet?
No, I haven't.
You should.
Well, I'd like to meet him. How do you know him?
We grew up together, or before I moved here.
Oh, that's nice. I'm glad you've got an old friend. So, why does he speak telepathically?
What?
Well, he hasn't been speaking with his mouth. People talking to him, they talk to him, but he doesn't speak back.
She looks in mild befuddlement. She looks mildly confused.
I don't mean to be rude. I was just wondering if it was a
Sorry, I didn't
a
notice
religious
that.
thing, or if it was the result of his injuries, or what.
I don't know. I didn't notice if he did that or not.
Really? He must be very talented then.
He is, yeah.
Well, are your friends going to be staying long?
I'm not sure. They may be staying. They're staying for the meantime. Is how Reijix put it. That could mean anywhere from like the next day to several months for him.
Well, any friend of yours is a friend of the town's.
Thank you.
So I'm not going to quiz her anymore on them. If she decides to chat about stuff, then great, I'll chat back. Otherwise, we'll just talk about the stuff we normally talk about when we're patrolling or whatever we're doing. Getting kittens out of trees and stuff.
Yeah, pretty much that's what that is. Okay, so that's pretty much what happens for the rest of your patrol. What are these two doing?
They're basically just continuing to do their jobs. How well do they know Ardenne?
She likes to get to know everybody, so probably about as well as Jonathan does.
Okay. Well,
Or as well as I want to, at least.
Well, they're
If you want to know her, you know her.
yeah. Sylvia is certainly going to have been reasonably friendly, and Eric is, I guess one would say, friendly but reserved. Because he not professional, no. He just became a little less lighthearted after the zombie incident.
I see.
So he tends to be more serious than he used to.
Ah.
But he's still friendly.
I see.
So anytime they happen to encounter her, I'm sure they would have the same conversation.
Yep.
And probably would ask the same question about the voice, as
she'd be like,
how they knew each other.
And she'd be like, and she'd probably, the only difference should be, instead of saying like, I don't know what you mean, she'd be like, yeah, person before her asked the same thing, and I don't know what you're talking about. I never noticed him, not using his mouth. Mouth to speak.
Oh. I think Eric will raise his eyebrows and say, oh, that's very impressive. Next time you talk to him, you might want to look.
I'll bear that in mind.
I'm not trying to make trouble between you, though.
No, I understand.
Okay. I just find it interesting that so few people have seem to have noticed.
She shrugs in mild curiosity. So I'll put like that right there. So these two are like moving, like doing all sorts of odd jobs around the town. And let me see.
If we happen to encounter them at any point, each of us is friendly and introduces ourselves.
Okay. So any of you does it?
Yeah, any of us who happen upon them will
roll a d3 then for who, and then a d4.
All right, d3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Eric.
Okay, let's see who he encounters. Actually, let's see he encounters them both together. So, like, he sees them.
Yeah, I imagine they're sticking together a bit.
Yeah.
Because being newcomers.
Yeah, but they've been doing like a bunch of odd jobs, so they might be like maybe they stick to the same odd jobs.
Yep.
So he's been wearing his plate armor and scythe like pretty much everywhere he goes though. So he's.
Well, I wear my equipment as well.
Yeah.
Because it.
Never know you're gonna get called.
Never know when there's going to be an emergency. Must always be prepared.
Yep. So Exekai goes. Mm-hmm. And you notice as you get closer to him that he has a few that his armor has a few bits of writing engraved on it in all sorts of languages.
Do I recognize any of them?
Let's see. What languages do you speak?
Eric?
Yes.
Eric speaks Common, Celestial, Elvish, and Draconic.
Okay, so you recognize that some of them are Draconic and Elvish,
Okay.
Some of the armor says there's like so in like rows of 3 like there'll be like on his forearm like right about here it'll say things like there's 3 lines that get repeated over and over again. Pain is power, true loyalty, night given wrath. Sorry, yeah, 4 things. Pain is power, true loyalty, night given wrath, and veritably vicious vengeance. They all say those are all like written on his armor in like all sorts of languages.
Knight with or without a K?
Without a K. Like, and as you look at his scythe, you're not certain exactly what it says. But you notice the scythe has something written on it too.
Okay. But I can't tell what it says.
It looks like it's in common, but he's got it sheathed. So
Oh, okay.
he's not carrying it like in his hands. It's like
Good.
that'd be weird.
That would be weird. Well, anyway, I approach and introduce myself. Hi, I'm Eric Carter. I'm the village's cleric. It's a pleasure to meet you.
You hear Reijix's voice say, well, you hear a voice in your head.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds, well, not head, but you hear Reijix say, it sounds like he's actually saying or speaking.
I look carefully at his mouth.
He says, pleasure to make your acquaintance. And it's Eric, I am Reijix, but sounds more like a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Eric, I am Reijix.
And since I'm watching, do I see his lips moving?
It's more like his jaw sort of moves up and down a little bit, but his lips stay completely silent and shut. Like his jaw will move up and down like half a centimeter, but that's about it. Like maybe he's breathing or something, but you're not entirely sure. But maybe more than he's breathing, but that's about it. Exekai says, I am Exekai Evergard. Word. Pleasure to make your acquaintance too. He has this face on, by the way.
Distrustful?
Not necessarily distrustful.
Wary?
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. I'm, after all, fairly reserved myself.
I'll put a mic right here. That's better. Again, we're just trying to like that, so they can all see. So, it's hard to tell actually that Reijix wasn't actually speaking because, and I think that it actually looked like his mouth was moving until you focused on it.
So what brings you to town? Were you just looking for a reunion with our friend Ardenne?
Reijix,
Or did you happen here and for other reasons?
Exekai says, staying with Reijix for the time being, and Reijix says, well, he does,
Yeah.
but you hear him say, Ardenne and I knew each other when we were younger, and I really want to say hi after so long.
Oh, she's been very pleased by your visit, I can tell.
He nods silently, but he still looks half asleep. Like his eyes are lidded, he's swaying a little bit, like he's trying to keep his like to one side and to snap back up slowly, but it's hard to tell.
Are you all right?
Did you ask him that?
Yes.
You asking Reijix?
Yeah. Well, if he's wobbly, I am after all a healer.
He raises one eyebrow slightly and says, well, same before, but you hear the voice say,
Yeah. You can just go ahead and say he says, and I will assume he's doing it mentally.
Yeah,
You
he
don't
basically
need to explain
says-
it every time.
yeah, I'm gonna have to remember that. It's gonna be hard though. He says, what do you mean? Have I given you cause for alarm?
Alarm? Not at all. You just seemed a little wobbly, and I wanted to make sure you weren't unwell. After all, I am the local healer.
I see.
It is my responsibility to care for any who are ill.
I am fine. I appreciate your concern, though. Oh, this voice was doing that little hissing insidious voice thing, so you're not sure exactly how comfortable you are with listening to this.
Okay. I speak to Exekai and say, you have the appearance of a warrior. May I ask, is that the case?
Indeed.
There's not a pause. This is Sherry
Pausing.
trying to figure out how to phrase this, because Sherry is less eloquent than any of her characters.
Same with all of us. We have a charisma of 10 at max.
But he basically he's trying to ask effectively, what is it that you fight?
Exekai seems to think for a second before saying, demons.
I nod to him with respect.
And then he adds, and those which destroyed my homelands.
You have my respect and my sympathy.
Thank you.
In addition to being the local healer, I am also here to defend my people from darker forces. Events of that nature are few and far between here, but should any arise while you're here, might I call on you for assistance?
You have no need. I will be fighting it if any darker forces arrive.
I nod more respectfully again. And I hope you will call on me should there ever be a need.
He nods ever so slightly.
Well, I've taken up enough of your time. Thank you. It was very nice to meet you, and I hope we see more of each other.
So, what do you care? Do you want to have another character speak with them, or do you think you just get the same information?
Let's see. All right. I think if Jonathan meets them, it's probably in company with Ardenne. He would be less reserved and wary, and more open. I think any conversation that Sylvia had with them, I would think would be a little less fraught, but also less in depth. She would basically just do the friendly, hi, welcome to our town, how you doing, how's your mother? Likewise, Jonathan, meeting them in company with Ardenne would be friendly. He would be open about questions, but I think he would be unlikely to extract any more information from them because he wouldn't be. It would be less of an interrogation and more of a get to know you.
Yeah. So I'll just say that you guys do the conversations and you get the same information that you want.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And we'll probably chat about them periodically when we get together.
For the next thing, who wants to be in the tavern? Who wants to be around the edge of town?
Well, what time of day is it?
About lunchtime. Lunchtime. Thereabout. It's about the end of lunchtime, I guess. Nearing the end of lunch.
Okay, alright, I would assume Jonathan is on duty.
I'll make this the tavern. So Jonathan's on duty.
So yeah, he's doing whatever he would be being told to do right about now.
Something like right about here then.
Whether that's guarding a flock from wolves or carrying a lost sheep back to town or.
Okay, so I guess I'll just be watching the entrance to the town.
Okay.
So I'll put like right about. I'll put the entrance to the town right here.
And did you say this was a tavern or an inn?
Tavern, like you can get lunch. And that's where everyone's going. And that's where like anyone who's not within the same area, everyone who's not within the same general area as him is going to be.
I think Eric and Sylvia will both be in the tavern.
Ardenne will be having lunch as well, and Reijix will be there too, quietly eating in a corner. So like cares like where they would be.
Okay. So we'd be eating.
Oh, here's a table for you.
We'd be sitting across from each other so that we could talk.
Okay. He's just sitting in a little corner there. She'll sit with you if that's okay.
She's not hanging out with her bud.
She hangs out with him like every now and then, but he is a bit of a loner.
Okay.
So, where is it? There it is. As you two, Jonathan and
Exekai.
brain fart, thank you. As you two are at the edge of town, you suddenly see an odd sight. A translucent, bright blue, humanoid-like, bear-like ooze stumbles towards you.
A bear-like ooze. A humanoid bear-like ooze.
Yes, it's about the size of an ogre and looks angry? I'll find a picture of one if you want.
Sure.
1 second. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, I didn't see him, so I'll just play. It's a gummy bear.
It's a gummy bear.
A giant bright blue gummy bear, yes.
Like the height of this room?
About 8 or 9 feet tall.
Okay. 8 or 9 foot tall giant gummy bear. Blue.
Yes.
Blue gummy bear. Sorry I ate all the gummy bears earlier, but I didn't have any blue ones anyway.
I figured. I just want to let you know that basically I was going to get a picture of, I pull out a random one, just like, this is what you see, but bright blue.
Good to know. Does it appear hostile?
Yes. It's like it steps like corroding the ground underneath it a bit vaguely. Because it's an ooze.
Okay. You said corroding?
Corroding, yes.
Oh, I thought you said cratering at first. Okay.
No.
Alright. What do I know about ooze? Is this a nature check or what?
Yeah, a nature check.
Okay. 16. What do I know about ooze? Or gummy bears?
Oozes are typically pretty slow, but they tend to, corrode anything they touch, so,
So not advisable to attack them with a weapon?
Yeah.
Also not advisable to punch them?
Correct.
This is a job for, a spellcaster?
Pretty much.
All
so, Exekai says, get the others.
Jonathan doesn't argue, he runs for the tavern.
So, you'll take like around here to get there, so roll for initiative first of all, everyone. Everyone who's already here rolls for initiative.
That's just the two of us, right?
Yep.
17.
Okay, 17 and a 19. So this is basically what
Is it slow?
very. It has a -3 modifier.
Marvelous.
So this. So
I meant more its walking speed, but...
Exekai goes first. He basically goes, pulls aside and taps on the ground, and then you hear a low rumbling as this happens, forcing a failed wisdom save. And then as this happens, he goes, once you along the tip of the blade, and the shower of sparks were from like.
Okay.
So a lot of people scream as they see this, so everyone else is also going to hear as well, so that's,
So do we hear the screams in the tavern?
yeah.
Alright, so, shall we go ahead and roll initiative? Because as soon as it's our turn,
You
we're
guys
gonna
can roll
run
initiative.
for the door. Okay, Sylvia got a 9.
Okay. Roll percentile for that, because I don't feel like if you're one before or after this thing.
46.
Okay, you're one after.
Eric, 18.
Okay. So we're starting after,
So Exekai went.
That brings us down to Eric, who's going to need to take a turn to get right about here.
Okay.
You see this giant, weird abomination. It started dissolving a little bit, but it looks really weird.
Okay, let's see. I shall call down Sacred Flame upon it.
How many times?
Twice. Dex saving throw.
We got a 14 and a 7.
Okay. That's one hit and one
Thank goodness
miss.
for -3 modifier, by the way.
Whew. That is 4 damage to it.
For both?
I only hit once.
No, I said it has -3 modifier, so that was a 14.
So the 14 was actually an 11?
No, that 17 became a 14.
Right.
Oh, your DC's not... Your DC...
The DC's 14.
Oh.
I'm level 3.
Sorry, I thought you maxed it out. You thought you maxed out your wisdom.
I can't max out my wisdom until I get an ability score
Yeah,
improvement.
one is an option at first level.
Oh, we didn't do the...
Bonus feats, did we?
Oh, wait. I'm a human. Hang on.
Are you a variant human? Cause,
Yeah, all of me are variant humans.
Okay.
So okay, what
that
about
then.
con and wisdom?
Okay.
Okay,
Then,
so...
yeah, roll another D8.
Okay.
LOL.
Sorry about that. Okay, total of 11. 4 plus 7 is 11.
So -1. This thing's looking pretty rough.
Yay!
And that brings us down to Jonathan. Realize everyone else is coming.
Alright. Okay.
You know, this thing's also not as strong as the other oozes now, so